Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, I'm sick. I'm not feeling too good. But we're here. We're here continuing to do videos as always. Yeah, man, I'm falling a bit sick, falling a bit ill. Yeah, I also spoke to YouTube yesterday. And basically they said just tell your subscribers to smash the bell, press the all button. Also, they said the way we rank your videos, the way we push your videos out, which I didn't know actually. They said smash the like button, and that is an indicator to how we push out videos. So what I would say is, guys, smash the like button for me. Really smash the like button. I'd appreciate if you guys go and smash the like button on the Bivol Beterbiev fight that I did. And if you can smash the like button on this video, I'd really appreciate it. It'll mean a lot. So go ahead, guys, and smash the like button. It'd mean a lot. Smash the like button. Let's get it to 100 likes for this video. But yeah, guys, you know what? Yesterday, I did a video. And before I even saw this, I did a video on whether Canelo can beat Beterbiev, and Tony Bellew actually said something about the fight. Tony Bellew said, you've got to give Artur Beterbiev respect, the way he dismantled Joe Smith. But I'm telling you now, Canelo Alvarez will beat him. And a lot of people jumped on that. A lot of people were like, Tony Bellew is talking absolute rubbish. And Canelo Alvarez would be such a massive outsider in that fight. And rightfully so. Rightfully so, because Beterbiev is a very skilled pressure fighter that can punch like a beast. So he should rightfully so be an underdog in that fight. But are we overreacting? I just want to ask you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Are we overreacting by giving Canelo absolute no chance against Usyk? And does he have a better chance than what we think? I don't think people are overreacting, to be honest with you. I think Usyk is a beast. Beterbiev is a beast. There's no doubt about it. I think Beterbiev is by far the biggest puncher Canelo would ever get in the ring with, or have got in the ring with. He is what Steven would say, a certified monster. Steven says certified killer, but he is an absolute beast of a fighter. And it's not just the fact that Beterbiev is a puncher. Beterbiev showed me in that Joe Smith fight he's more than a puncher. If you look at that fight, he saw Joe Smith come out wildly. Beterbiev went on the back foot, let Smith through his wild hooks and shots, and Beterbiev waited to counter, and he got him with the right hand. And Joe Smith was all over the place. So that tells me that this man is a lot better than just a big puncher. Hence why I think anybody under 175 pounds or 175 pounds don't beat him, because I think he's a very good boxer, and I think he's a big puncher, and I think he's a freakish puncher. I actually think this is going to be quite controversial. People may disagree with this. I think he's better than Golovkin. I do. I think he's a better fighter than Golovkin. Golovkin never ever blew top fighters out like that. If you look at Golovkin's career, when he fought people like Daniel Jacobs, and Danny Jacobs had been knocked out before. You know, Danny Jacobs took him the distance. Canelo took him the distance. Beterbiev fought guys like Govzik, who were very, very good fighters. And Beterbiev blew him out. Beterbiev blew out Govzik. He battered him like he stole. And I'm not saying Smith is pretty one-dimensional, but the way he dismantled Smith, nobody's done. Beterbiev is doing things to fighters that had never been done to them before. You know, no one had done that to Govzik, and he just absolutely destroyed him. You know, he absolutely took him apart, and you have to give Beterbiev a lot of respect and a lot of credit for that particular performance against Govzik and Joe Smith, because he did think, no one thought that the fight would end in 2 rounds. People were saying it's not going to go 6 against Smith because Beterbiev, they're both punchers, so someone's clock's going to get cleaned. But it was the impressive nature. It's the way Beterbiev analyzed the fight for me that I found very impressive. For me, he analyzed the fight and he took Joe Smith apart. He dismantled him. And I personally think that Beterbiev is a complete fighter. I don't know what people think. I don't see how people think that Bivol can outbox him for 12 rounds. Beterbiev is a bull, but the thing is, he's a very intelligent bull. He's not a wild bull. You see, when you're a wild bull, the matador can get the better of you because the matador can outbox you, can frustrate you. The problem is when it's an intelligent bull in there, that's a very difficult fighter to beat because Beterbiev's not just a puncher. He's also a very good boxer. And that's the problem fighters like Bivol will have. Because he's not going up against somebody that's just a puncher where he can just outbox. Now, people say, well, look at what Bivol did to Canelo Alvarez. Here's the difference. Canelo Alvarez is 5'7". He doesn't have the reach. He doesn't have the height. And he doesn't have the strength, the physical strength. And he doesn't have the punch power of Artur Beterbiev. So now you put Beterbiev in. Firstly, Beterbiev is a natural pressure fighter. That's what Beterbiev does. He's a pressure fighter. Canelo Alvarez isn't really a pressure fighter. Canelo Alvarez has adapted his game to become a better pressure fighter, and he's been doing that the last couple of fights. But Canelo Alvarez isn't really a pressure fighter. He's a counter puncher. He waits for you to make mistakes, and then he counters. Beterbiev can do that. But Beterbiev isn't as good a counterpuncher as Canelo. But Beterbiev is a much better pressure fighter than Canelo is. And that's what, in my opinion, that would be a big problem for Bivol. Because not just that, if Bivol can't really hurt Beterbiev is going to walk through him. Beterbiev is going to get to the target, and then Beterbiev is going to start landing big shots. And if he gets Bivol on the ropes, the fight's over. But you can't afford to let Beterbiev get you on the ropes. If Beterbiev gets you on the ropes, game over. Beterbiev's going to pummel you. He's going to beat the crap out of you. And he's going to wipe you out. Simple as that. Simple as that. You can't beat Beterbiev if you're on the ropes. Because Beterbiev will pummel you. He'll beat the crap out of you. You have to box. If Bivol can keep that fight in the center of the ring, right, which I don't know whether he can. To be brutally honest with you, I don't know whether he can keep that fight in the center of the ring. If he can keep it in the center of the ring, I give Bivol a very good chance. The only problem is I don't know whether Bivol is going to be able to keep Beterbiev off. I think Beterbiev is going to force him back. And as soon as Beterbiev gets you going backwards, that's it. There's a big problem. Now, Bivol showed that he can fight off the back foot against Canelo. But again, it was against Canelo, who's a lot smaller than Beterbiev, who doesn't punch harder as Beterbiev. So, I honestly, Canelo might have a better chance against Beterbiev stylistically. The only problem is it's a horrible fight. It's a horrible fight, and I think Beterbiev, I can't see Canelo winning that fight. And I'm the biggest Canelo fan. But I don't know. I think size, strength, power plays a big part in boxing. And I don't think Canelo is big enough. And I think Beterbiev is not just a puncher. If he was a puncher, I would give Canelo much of a better chance. I think Beterbiev's a very good boxer. And that's the problem that someone like Canelo would have, that he's not just fighting an elite puncher, he's fighting an elite boxer, really. But the problem is with Beterbiev's skills, they're not being displayed. You know why? Because he's knocking everybody out. He's knocking everybody out, so we're not getting to see his full repertoire. And he's KOing everybody. I can't see, I honestly can't see how Canelo Alvarez would be able to box a smart fight in that fight, because Beterbiev will force Canelo on the back foot. And like I said, anyone he forces on the back foot, you're in big trouble. He punches too hard. And I'm not sure. Canelo would have to hit and hurt him. If Canelo can hit and hurt him, which again, we don't know because Beterbiev is a pretty strong guy. Does Canelo have the power to hurt these elite guys? Also, I was really impressed with Beterbiev's footwork. Beterbiev, the way he got out the way of the punches that Joe Smith was throwing, really impressed me. I didn't know Beterbiev had that. But again, this is a guy with over 300 amateur fights. He's got a lot of amateur pedigree. He's probably... Obviously, he's not as experienced as Canelo in the pro game. But in terms of boxing experience, Beterbiev probably has as much, if not more, boxing experience than Canelo. Not as a pro, but when you look at his boxing career as a whole, he might have been doing it longer. So, Beterbiev is a problem. He's a problem for anybody that gets in the ring with him. And Canelo Alvarez, for me, as I said yesterday, I just think he's too small for these weight classes. I think size plays a big part in boxing, and the weight difference plays a big part in boxing when you've got another skilled fighter in the ring with you. It's okay when you're fighting lesser guys. Like if Canelo was to fight Joe Smith, yeah, it's different because Joe Smith isn't got the boxing skills that someone like Artur Beterbiev has. So it's a different fight. You know, it's a different fight because Joe Smith is wild. He's not fundamentally sound, and Canelo would beat him pretty easily. I don't agree with. I know Coach Malachi said that he thinks that Joe Smith would have beaten Canelo. I don't agree with that. I think Joe Smith doesn't have the fundamentals, even though there's a massive size difference. I don't think Joe Smith has the fundamentals to beat someone like Canelo Alvarez. I think Joe Smith is too limited, very one-dimensional, and I think Canelo is too versatile and too good a boxer, and he hits hard enough. I think Canelo would stop Joe Smith, not in 2 rounds, but I think he'll stop him in 6 or 7. I just think that Canelo is too good a boxer for someone like a Joe Smith. But Beterbiev is a whole different game. It's a whole different fight. And Tony Bellew might just be looking at it, and I know Tony Bellew's been saying that Canelo will beat Beterbiev for a very long time. Tony Bellew said this a year ago, that Canelo Alvarez will beat Beterbiev. See, we might be... Here's the thing, guys. I don't know if we're overreacting because we're going on recent, because Canelo got beat by Bivol. We need to give it time, because if Canelo beats Golovkin and then goes and beats Bivol, will everybody change their opinion? No, Canelo beats Beterbiev. You see, sometimes we need to let things play out, because Canelo had a bad performance. Bivol was too good on the night. But we need to see how Canelo does in a rematch with him, because Canelo is going to rematch Dimitri Bivol. How is Canelo going to get on in the rematch? We need to analyze, and we need to see that. You know, I think people are writing Canelo off. And the problem is, with a lot of boxing fans, they're very fickle. You know, a fighter goes from being a pound-for-pound all-time great to being a bum. You know, that's just, oh, he's a cherry picker, he's overrated. Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. Let's Canelo have some more fights. Let Canelo fight Golovkin. Let Canelo fight Bivol again. You know, Canelo's not overrated. Look at the risk that he's taken in boxing. He fought Bivol, which was a very big risk. He didn't need to take that risk. Go up to 175. There isn't many other fighters in boxing that take risks like that. So let's give Canelo his plaudit. And I'm telling you this as well. If Canelo was to be successful against Dimitri Bivol, he will fight Artur Beterbiev, irrespective of what the fact that people say that Artur Beterbiev is dangerous and a monster. I can guarantee you, Canelo Alvarez, if he beats Dimitri Bivol, which again, I think he's an underdog and I won't be picking him to beat Dimitri Bivol, he will fight Artur Beterbiev. And you know why? Because Canelo Alvarez has the heart of a lion. He wants to prove himself. People may say, well, he's ducking Andrade. You can't be talking about Andrade and those guys when he's fighting better fighters in Bivol. Bivol is a better fighter. He's proven at a higher weight class. He's bigger. He's skilled. He's a great fighter. You can't be, you can't tell me that if he wants to fight guys like Bivol and Beterbiev, he's ducking Andrade and Charlo and these guys. You know, those guys would be huge underdogs against Canelo. You know, Canelo now goes into the fights with Beterbiev and Bivol, huge underdog. You know, he'd be seen as an outsider. And look, I think they're great fights. I think the Bivol fight rematch is a great fight. And maybe we're overlooking Canelo. Maybe that style against Bivol, maybe Christian is right. That Canelo, that style is all wrong for Canelo. Maybe, but let's the rematch play out. Let's see what happens. I feel like people love to jump to conclusions and start calling fighters that achieve so much, like Canelo bumps. Oh, he's overrated. He picks and chooses his fights. Let's the fight play out, and let's see how this fight plays out. I think it's a lot better fight than what people give it credit for, the Bivol rematch. And I think the Beterbiev fight might be a lot better than what people give it credit for. A lot of people think that Beterbiev will pummel Canelo. Maybe the fight is a lot better than what people give it credit for. You know, so let these things play out rather than jump into conclusions. I always like to see if Canelo is willing to get in there with someone like Artur Beterbiev, fair play to him, because no one else at his size and weight would be willing to get in with that kind of guy. You know, if Canelo gets in and fights Beterbiev, I'll be saluting him and giving him a clap, giving him a salute for going in a ring with someone like Beterbiev. You got to do it for Bivol, because Bivol's a great fighter and a much bigger guy. But Canelo is daring to be great, you know. Like I said, the fight that I want to see now is Beterbiev v Bivol. But in the future, if Canelo can get past Bivol, would I like to see Beterbiev? Yeah, of course, of course. It would be a monster fight. So Joe Smith is okay to get in the ring with Beterbiev, but Canelo Alvarez can't. You trying to tell me that Joe Smith is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez? Come on, let's behave ourselves. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.